Yes, people, Project Visionary episode 5 back on your screens again. We have a big week ahead of us, a big couple of weeks ahead of us actually. This weekend we have a Tour de Beara, which is a cycle race down in Cork, the Beara Peninsula. I've actually never been myself, but it's like the shticks of the shticks basically. So when you head to the country of Ireland, stay going and you get to the countryside of the countryside. Now I was going to try and play this start of this vlog off real smooth and you know all the cool clips I got there a few minutes ago, but I'm actually after really fucking myself up there a second ago. See you going to show you here. Absolutely battered myself there, all on the palm of the hand. I was going to say nah fuck, I played off nice and slick. Nah mate, fucking trying to film this b-roll, yeah. Went for the U-turn to get back the camera and fucking did the U-ey on the gravel. Oh shit, I've never came off a bike before and there's nothing more demoralising than coming off the bike, especially because like you're stuck in the bike, so you just fall with the bike. You can't like dismount or anything. Anyway, it's Monday, the sun is shining, currently at kilometer 17. We have another, oh I almost came off the bike again. We have another 33 to go, try and push off a 50k today. And we finished up our cycle, so we did. Yeah, I tell you something, it's one of the hardest things to do is train and vlog at the same time, because, well, fucking exhibit A, exhibit B, that's the worst one. That is absolutely gonna annoy the shit out of me, that one is. Tour de Beara is there's three categories. There is a 120 kilometer cycle, there is a 160 kilometer cycle, and then there's my one, the 90 kilometer cycle. So the reason I've gone for the 90 kilometers, besides the point of my balls are just not that big to be able to go and do the 160 just yet. 90 kilometers is the distance of a half Ironman, the cycle part of it. But a half Ironman, it is I'm looking at it here, a 1.9k swim, 90k bike, and a half marathon. The swim I know I can do, the bike I know I can do, it's just trying to work up that half marathon. I've only ever done one half marathon in my life, and holy fuck. The Cork Peninsula, or the Beara Peninsula, is down in Cork. We are going to head down Friday, me and Missy. We're staying in, I actually have to decide that today. I have to try and get myself an Airbnb or something. Race is Saturday in Cork, and then Saturday afternoon, fuck off back to Kerry. Catch up with the old fella and see how he's doing. Other than that, I have to have a shower, get food, check-ins, and prepare ourselves for some afternoon plans.
Friends go, it was simple. When the end's low, switch the tempo. When my friends go, it was simple. When the end's low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, bet I strike, I go hard day and night, yeah. I go hard day and night, 1 to 1, no surprise, see the hate in their eyes. My brothers blood money bleed, I got the game in the squeeze. What would you do for some green? What would you do for some blues? Go pick and choose, the fam of the cheese. Some people not built like that, some people get killed like that. Pressure like water, lights, mortgage, I been at bills like that. Now I got kids like that, no wonder why I feel like that. Some people go to war for nothing, me I go to war for something. Some people need knives and guns, same ones just talk and run. Some people go to war for none, me I go to war for something. Some people need knives and guns, same ones just talk and run. When my friends go, it was simple. When the ends low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, bet I strike, I go hard day and night.
Morning folks, what's going on lads? We have ourselves early morning check-ins to be done. Had a couple of reels just to get done as well. It's so hard spending time just editing, man, especially with the standard of reels and all that shit these days. Today's Wednesday. In a few minutes, actually I'm almost late, we have a 2 kilometer open water swim. Now, if I was my own client, I would most definitely be given out to me because I do have a cycle at the end of the week, as stated earlier on the video. So, like I said, we're off for a swim at the minute, and I do disagree in regards to the training application when we do have a big race ahead of us over on the weekend. And if I was my own client, like I said, this would not be fucking happening. But because the race at the weekend isn't anything majorly competitive, right, and because it's impossible for me to train accurately for the race at the weekend, and I'll tell you why. Basically, I see can I slap it up on screen at the minute, the terrain of it is relatively okay until the last quarter, we'll say, and then you're climbing up this thing called Healy Pass, which is basically a fucking mountain. I am recovering quite well from these endurance sessions. Is it optimal? Absolutely not. But for my own self, just to be able to push myself that extra few miles, because ultimately the big one next year is the half Ironman. That would be absolutely the pinnacle of goals for me next year. So yes, the 90k cycle is important, and yes, I have to perform and finish the fucking thing, but ultimately I need to be able to stack weeks and I need to be able to stack events close to each other just to be able to mimic that high intensity threshold of a half Ironman. Now, everything in the day in the life, business is okay. We're starting to push different niches. Previously, you would have heard that we're always on about lads who want to build confidence and build some lean muscle tissue, and that is a fact. But as I am becoming more and more educated on my own industry, I think if I take myself back to when I was a little whippersnapper in the gym, I wasn't going to hire no coach to tell me what to do. Even though if I did, I'd be fucking half a decade ahead of where I am today. But that mental state that lads have, like, no, fuck off, man, I'll do it myself, man. What the fuck do I need a coach for, man? Is now starting to kind of sink in with myself. So yes, we do have a couple of clients on board that are, you know, trying to stack on the muscle tissue. But ultimately, a lot of it's fat loss. A lot of it's fat loss. And obviously with the way the world's gone in this day and age, of everyone's obese, everyone has these fucking food disorders, and you name it, fat loss seems to be the premium, or not the premium, we should say, the most popular service for coaches to get into and from people to actually want to take part in. I always thought, it's easy, whereas developing a muscular physique takes fucking ages and takes skill. And I would say skill, but takes a little bit more thought out process and programming to be able to do so. So we're firing up a load of ads. Big shout out to Shawnee Boy. You'd have seen him on the vlog loads of times. He is an absolute whiz kid with the marketing, and he's helping me out dramatically. And so fingers crossed now, we're throwing it at mothers, we're throwing it at dads, we're throwing it at lads, we're throwing it at girls, and we're just going to see where that niche kind of falls into place. And usually you're supposed to staple a niche and then make content and ads around it. But I'm just more so coming up with a little bit more of an exploratory term to see what kind of other individuals may I be able to add a lot of value to. Currently just coming into Clarenbridge, about 5 minutes out from what we call Stradbally. Your mother said something funny the last day. She was like, you know, all this working out you do, you're going to be fucked in your older age. And yeah, she's probably right, to be honest with you. But hey, listen, at least we won't die from no fucking stupid causes like, I don't know, obesity, or, you know, something that's so easily avoided. You know, we're going to end up dying of fucking broken kneecaps and, I don't know, stupidity in open water swims.
Not around, but Gordon is going with stuff.
Gordon's going, yeah? Who's the fellow walking down?
Noel Murphy. So Noel will be good for going over the stage and back.
Yeah.
Slow and steady. Cruising around. Hey Noel, have a crack. We'll try and do a bit more even if we can, but in around 2k, yeah. So go probably over to the end of the cave and back, or else out to Moran's Point and back, one of the two. Actually, might go to Moran's Point and then across the cave and back.
Going tight.
another swim out to the island, because you've got every little bit of help with both rivers. Whereas when you're swimming in the way, it's easier. Like for me, psychologically, it's tougher. When I get out towards the island, you're in much more open water, and it's harder to see that you're making a bit of distance. So I struggle with that. Whereas I find it easier swimming the open bit at the start when I'm full of beans, and then as I'm getting tired, I'm hitting Moran's Point, and I'm just taking little chunks on.
Check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up.
Yes, people, good morning to you. Coffee of choice this morning is Mexicano. I have been banging out the Mexican coffees for a while now. Little did I know that the Mexicans actually have some belter coffees. Usually I'm a man who loves his French blends, Italian blends. I can dabble with a bit of Colombian while I think it's very bitter. But most definitely, the fucking Mexicano coffee is muy bien. So this Friday morning, got a couple of early morning clients. The Whoop has registered for the last 3 days in a row. I have had a shite night's sleep. No more than 5 hours sleep, 5 and a bit hours sleep over the last couple of days. So this this fucking race that is impending is most definitely an inconvenience. Last night we were up all hours. I feel like I mentioned it earlier on the vlog that we were indulging in a new ad campaign. So we have had a great success turnaround from that. A lot of enquiries, a lot of skipped meals, a lot of hours skipped just to try and again satisfy the sudden urge in uptake in people trying to get into the online coaching. So current plan for the day, today is Friday like I mentioned. We're heading down to Cork, me and Missy today, and we have it says 3.5 hour drive, but I know it's going to be a lot longer than that. In the meantime, I have early morning clients. I'm not going to train today myself based on the fact that I fucking had like 4 hours sleep last night. We have a load of leads to check in with when we get back. A lot of these Facebook leads, like I mentioned, there's an older demographic that we're punching towards now, and they all use Facebook. We need to go and find out how to fucking sort that out. We have to pack. We have to, well actually yesterday we lubed up the chain of the bike. I would like to give it a wash, but I don't think it's going to be applicable. And then we have afternoon clients as well. So there's a tight window that I have between these early morning clients and those mid-afternoon clients. I have a window in there where everything needs to get done. So I'm going to suck back the rest of this Mexicano coffee and touch base with you when I have a little bit more time. Here it comes, walking down the street, singing Hootie Wow, walking down the street. This man is fucking late. Every morning this kid is absolutely late. He cancelled on me midweek so he could go on a date. Let's go ask him about his antics. Mr. Zishan, did you get your dick sucked?
That's me falling in and out so fast when I feel trapped. Hungry for another one, anyone. I don't look back. I will hold you while I'm 1 foot out the door, and it's all because I don't need you anymore. Heartbeats going fast, oh, heartbeats going fast.
quarter of the way through. I tell a lie, a third of the way through. Currently on 37k. Body feels good. We move. Bike. We have a 12.5% gradient and it's just under 90 kilos. Holy fuck. Not happening. Absolutely not happening. So yeah, up at 61k, and I mean you can see it fucking behind me. I'm struggling to fucking walk up this hill. So we're 2/3 of the way through. I mean, look at these fucking scenes, like, unbelievable. Now, I did say I didn't want to come off the bike today, but I also said I couldn't train properly for this because Galway doesn't have these hills, or at least I don't have access to these hills in Galway. So while the distance was being met, the gradient was absolutely not. Whew. So, just coming to the end of the hill here. I hope you're back on the bike. And then it is a steady decline back to Glendarf. What's happening, kid? So, little update. The 90k didn't happen because I'm currently on fucking 106 somehow. What a load of fucking shite. I'm actually fuming. Holy fuck, this is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. Holy fuck. I was following the crowd for a while and they were quite good, like, and I was just sitting on the wheel of them, just doing bits. And I never asked them, are you doing the 90k or the 120k? Oh, sorry, I just farted. Obviously, I'm paying the price for it now. I can barely move. I'm in so much pain. We made it back. What a fucking challenge that was, mate. That is the single hardest thing I've ever done. And I'm going to explain, I'm going to give you my full thoughts and feelings, opinions, and the whole lot tomorrow when I can sit down, digest what happened today, and bring it to your screens. But the quick version is I signed up for a 90-kilometer cycle. I ended up doing 120. And I lost a bit of my soul in the process. Yeah, I'm going to give you the full lowdown tomorrow. I'm actually currently, once we finished the race, I was about 5 hours on the road, cycling non-stop. And we had to then take another 2-hour journey across from Cork to Kerry, of which if you've seen a couple of my videos, you know I'm in the cottage where I was born. I wasn't born in the cottage, I was raised in the cottage, but I was born in Kerry. This is my first house. Dads, uncles, missies all outside. We're going to go for dinner in a few minutes. And I'm fairly shook, to be honest with you, after a very emotional day, I must say. It's very, you know, when you see people win medals in the Olympics and all that, and they start crying. Well, I'm just going to relax for the rest of the day, have a few brewskis with the fam, and I'll give you the full explanation next day.
Yes, people, it is currently just before 5 o'clock on Tuesday morning. And I'll actually come out to the car sometimes at this hour anyway, just if I'm sending a couple of voice notes, calls. I just had a couple of bits going through. As you're aware, the busy weekend wasn't overly favourable for internet. Oh, I can't even remember if I mentioned that, but left Galway on the Friday at like 5 o'clock. Didn't get down to Cork until about 10. And since that, like say 4 o'clock on the Friday, I have not been in my DMs at all. And there's been so many fucking inquiries. So yeah, they are most definitely getting back to you all day yesterday. Straight in there with the replies, a couple of voice notes, and I just want to send a couple of pre-messages out in regards to current clients. But that's not what I'm here to chat to you about. I wanted to give you a recap over the weekend, just to kind of see exactly what the fuck happened. So we had originally planned for the 90k. Okay, and to say that I was prepared for the 90k would be an understatement, because here in Galway, there's no mountains. Like, yeah, there's fucking mountains, but not the ones you can fucking cycle up. So, I'm training the distance, and I can't practice going up mountains. So, the distance would have been okay, but ultimately, you know, that's why I picked the 90k, because I'd love to have challenged myself and go for the 120k, but just with those mountain variables, it's way out of my depth of preparation. So played it safe, went for the 90k, was banging out the first 10k is me trying to figure out, okay, whose wheel am I going to sit on? This is my first race. Okay, you're too slow. I see a lad go by with a bike fucking worth a 7-8 grand. I'm thinking, okay, you're not the guy I'm following. And I'm trying to find a wheel that's fast enough for me to sit on, but not so fast that I'm going to get dropped way into the countryside. So I found one for the first 30k. Absolutely spot on. Right, he was wearing the white jersey, polka dots. He was my guy. And that lad, no joke, for 30 kilometers straight, and some, to be honest with you, went like the clappers. He didn't ask me to get into that headwind once. I sat on his back wheel for ages. And to be honest, I wish I saw him after the race. I'd love to buy him a pint, because after the 30 odd K, he exhausted himself. I could hear his breathing. He started slowing down, and I'm thinking, right, it's just me and you out here. I can't just leave you. I need a wheel on me, because I don't even know where the fuck I'm going. When he began to get dropped, I left and went with the guys, the trio. Now, this was the mistake, because the trio was doing the 120k. Oh no, I was unaware of this, but they were doing the 120k, and I would imagine the fella I was following was doing the 90. So that was an error following the faster group, yeah. Now we kept up all the way through to about kilometer 70-ish, 70, 75. And I'm thinking, the only thing that's keeping me going at this stage is the thought of, okay, I'm on 70, I'm almost there at 90, I'm going to keep going. Listen, I've ran out of carbs at this stage because I had a carb up at 30k, 60k, and obviously at the start, right? So those are my fuel points, and I had enough carbs to fuel me the hour. I don't know exactly how many grams of carbs I can absorb and digest within a 60-minute window, but I pushed it. I'd rather go above and beyond or overshoot it than undershoot it. So I had a carb up before I started at 30k, at 60k, and that 60k carb up was to drive me home. And so I'm getting up there, 70k, 75k, 80k, and something dawns on me. I'm looking at my little map on the bike, and I'm thinking, I'm way off here, completely way off. Now, I'm still with the trio at this stage, but I know well I fucked it, right? So, and one of the major flaws as well is I have the little bike computer, but you can't download the route on Strava. It didn't let you. There was no update, so you're supposed to remember the route and just follow I say signs, there was no fucking signs. So anyway, I hit around 85, 90k mark, right? And that's when I completely hit a wall. But basically, you've depleted your carbohydrate intake, and like even just pushing the pedal in the lowest gear feels like an absolute workout. The trio dropped me, and I ended up falling off the bike actually. And mate, lad, I didn't even fall off going quick. I fell off because I was going so slow. I was pedaling. I got to the point where I'd literally put my try and get my foot down. The chain actually jumped, and then I just went whoop, fucking fell off the side of the bike. The last little bit then, so I hit the 90k, 95k, I'm suffering. Coming up to the 100k, I'm really suffering. I'm going so slow and by myself. I actually start getting emotional, thinking, I don't know how I'm going to finish this. And then it suddenly dawns on me, we have to get up Healy Pass. So Healy Pass is this fucking huge mountain, and I can barely fucking cycle on the flat, never mind uphill. I wish I filmed this next bit, right? But I basically run into this town, or cycle into this town. And now I say town very lightly, because you have you have 3 buildings. One was a cafe, one was a pub, and one was just some building. Now the pub was the pub, and the cafe was actually also a pub, right? Because I went straight into the cafe, and there's 2 lads in the Tour de Bear jersey sitting up on the fucking counter drinking 2 glasses of wine, right? Having the time of their life. And I'm thinking, oh, legends. Myself now, I just needed in straight in there. Can I get a bottle of Coke, please? Yeah, swallowed that. So I said, how much is that? He said, 4 quid. I said, bollocks. Yeah, I said, go on, give me another 2 of them there. 3 bottles of Coke, sucked them back. And that was just before the Healy Pass climb. That is the only reason I made it up that mountain that day. I can fucking promise you that. And the rest of it was fairly alright. Again, to be honest, the last 10, 15k was the number one hardest thing, because again, the cans of Coke, or the bottles of Coke ran off at that stage, and it was just a grueler to the finish line. So what was supposed to be 90k ended up being 120k just based on my error. There's the medal to prove it. Hold on, I get a sup of my coffee before it goes cold. Crossing that finish line, like being in your head for so long in silence, and then you're starting off, you have a plan, the plan doesn't go your way, something happens, you fall off the bike, you're under carbs, you're panicking, then you get the bottles of Coke and you're regenerated, and then you're positive again, and then you're negative, and like this constant war of attrition between your own emotions and your own thoughts, and no one there to save you, all while continually pedaling this fucking bike in agony. Like, the emotional dump of release at the end of that, I'm not even joking. Looking back in a couple of years' time, that 120k is going to be nothing. But this year, last weekend, that was everything. Absolutely everything I had to give. So, super proud of myself. A lot of things to work on. Massive learning experience. The underestimation of carbs. The hydration was probably the only thing I got correct. That's it.
Where my friends go, it was simple. When the ends low, switch the tempo. I got right, I got heart, I won't die, I'ma fight. I go down, bet I strike, I go hard day and night.